Okay, so I just hit the wrong button, so I'm just going to continue now with the bit where I say what I'm actually going to aim to do to it. So the idea is, um, this is kind of going to be probably more of a two-man caravan. So basically just a double bed one end of it. At the back, I'll probably still leave it so you can make it into a double bench. Just leave the cushions, but make it more of a sort of a more permanent fixed bed, so that you aren't making it up when you want to use it. Make it just so it's left there permanently, but maybe so that maybe a few hinges and stuff, so you can sort of fold out a proper bed frame, so it's got good support there. So you could potentially have a proper mattress there if you really want to, which I'll probably do, to be fair, because if 9 case out of 10 it'll only be me and someone else sleeping in it, hey presto. So yeah, I want to have that into a nice bedroom area. And potentially you've got these original fixtures here, which are these little hooks. Maybe run I think originally that would have been a way to basically have a curtain across it to give yourself some sort of separation from the outside world. So yeah, you get the idea. Make that sort of a nice bedroom area. And then we've got a wardrobe, and then walk-in bathroom, and then seating area. And the seating area I'm going to want to keep exactly as it is, because the idea is entertain people there, go to bed that end, easy. Now the bathroom slash wardrobe is where I'm gonna kind of got some funky ideas. Now when I was looking at caravans, you always know, if it's me when I'm involved, that I'm not very good at just doing something on the whim and just sort of thinking, oh, I like that, I'm going to have that. My brain always has to dig right down the rabbit hole and find every ounce of information and sort of think, oh, what could I do? What would be the best layout? Everything's got to sort of line up with how my mind's thinking. And this van was just that. The day I went and had a look at this van, I'd look at a model that I think would probably be about only a year or two older, that was a traditional sort of pointed roof type. And that, unfortunately, you went in at the back of it. The layout just didn't. It was just too kind of almost claustrophobic. There wasn't much room to grow the layout and make it what I really wanted it. Whereas with this one, I walked into it, I was just sort of like, everything's laying out perfectly. I'd seen both these caravans on brochures that I found online, just downloaded PDFs. Hey presto, you can have a look at all the specs, stuff like that. Wasn't massively concerned about spec sheets. I thought, well, if I'm going to buy a particular project and I can pull it apart and make it the spec I want it, the original factory spec isn't massively important, because obviously by today's standards anyway, half of that will probably be like sort of very pretty standard spec on most modern caravans, whereas I'm going to put standard spec in and then put a few little tweaks in just to kind of bring it up a notch, but obviously keep it period, because I'm like, I don't like 21st century that much, so I have little inklings of it, just enough that it makes life a little bit nice. So we don't want life to be too flashy because it'd be boring. So, but yeah, so I want to have a bedroom that end, sitting area that way, and then the layout in the middle here is just perfect in my books. But what I want to do, and this was part of the bit that I really liked about this particular caravan, when I looked at it on the brochure, which was the fact that where the bathroom is directly opposite the main entrance door, it's just kind of, you haven't got to go around everything to get to it, and it isn't cramped to get into it. So, and the way it is, you can expand it. So my thought was the fact that I want to be able to essentially park up, be on a road trip, think, oh, okay, that looks a nice site, let's pop in there, park up, drop my legs down, off we go. The only thing we need that isn't in the caravan is a toilet, because I decided that, well, I kind of want to just avoid that altogether. I mean, shower water's one thing, but changing like Portaloo toilets doesn't really appeal to me very much. And the fact that it's just one of those things where you just think, well, if you can sort of reduce that sort of element of it, it will just make life nicer. And obviously, if you camp somewhere, you obviously probably have the on-site toilets anyway. If you stop at the services, you can use toilet there. you get the idea. There's always, it's kind of almost a basic human right these days, I think, for there to be working toilets and working sort of at least hand washing facilities. So yeah, in that respect, I'm kind of going to utilise what is required around us, really. So, but what I want to do in here is, I'll pop the camera around. So this bit here, to me, really was what gave me the thought of, this is the right size, this is the right layout for me. What I want to do is, it's big enough that I can walk inside it like so, which is just perfect in my books. Now what I want to do is somehow get and make it into a basic, like a walk-in shower area. So you have your, at the moment you've got a sink down here, and you probably would have had your porta toilet somewhere down there. Possibly, I'm not sure, because you've got the wheel arch popping in there, which could look like rather interesting, to be fair. But yeah, I want to make this into, ideally, a nice walk-in shower with a sink. The idea is that then, once obviously you've got your water pumps and everything else in place, and hopefully with any luck, heated water, because that'd be nice. This means that you've got as much facility on board as you can get, which basically just means that you aren't stranded, if that makes sense. I want to make it so that there's as much facilities on board as I can get, without making life too complicated. Hence what I'm saying about just having a shower, not having a toilet in here, because that just makes things a little bit gross, albeit very natural, a bit gross. But what I'm thinking of is potentially to make that area better than it currently already is. So first things first, the wardrobe, this far end of it, as you can see, isn't actually up to the ceiling. So what I'm kind of thinking of here is, if that's more going to be like a bedroom area anyway, we could probably move that wall, probably say at least up to there, which then gives you a little area here as like a bedside table built in. Alternatively, just move all up in general, and then you can, yeah, I'm still working my head around it, as I'm sure you can figure out. There's actually probably be better off if you had like a little shelf there, so you can put things like shoes under there maybe. But yeah, I'd quite like to potentially, again, if that was in the right place, whereabouts is yeah, it's going to take some measuring up, but I've got ideas in my mind. I just need to try and work out how I can implement them in this van. But I personally feel like this van is the perfect one to implement them with. So yeah, and the skylight is currently being a difficult one to improve, because majority of skylights, as it turns out, are either 380mm by 380mm, 400mm by 400mm, 450mm by 450mm, and then after that they get very, very, very big because they're for motorhomes and they're very, very expensive. Typically, and I did confirm this with the Classic Sprite Owners Club, because yes, there is one on Facebook. I got recommended to it for help by the, I think it was a Caravan Tips UK club, I think. It turns out that this size is very awkward, and pretty much mostly apparently only found in these Sprite caravans, the classic ones. Fun. It's always, I always manage to do this, don't I? Whether it's a Renault 5 or a Citroen BX, I always manage to find something that's got an awkward blooming side of something, don't I? Yeah, welcome to me. So yeah, I'm debating whether or not at the moment, because you've obviously got two options. You can either make this smaller so that it then takes a more conventional size skylight, and obviously either way, if you make it bigger, you got to cut more out. If you make it smaller, you got to change panels and reduce the size. So I'm kind of debating, do I try and make something that will kind of do the same job, maybe proper like hatch fit or lift up, something like that, not really sure. But obviously it's on the flattest part of the roof, so it's obviously a case of the hardest bit probably is going to be making sure that it's whatever it is, it seals. But yeah, got a few ideas up the sleeve, but I'm not sure which one to try and implement just yet, so that could be fun. But yeah, the plenty of stuff to do, that's for certain. One of them being, as well as everything else I've just mentioned, so we've got a plug socket just up here. I'm just going to show you two wires, and I'm going to see if anyone might have a guess at what else I'm about to show you, which is the back of one I can actually find to show you. Yeah. Can you guess what I'm saying yet? Yeah. Everything on this van is looped off itself. And what does that mean? So, it means that if, for example, you plug that in and turn it on, if you then put another heater on that one and turn it on, if you put another heater on there and turn it on, put another one there and turn it on, and there, and pretty certain there's another one in here, oh yep, just there. If you turn all of the, if you plug a heater into every single one of those and turn them all on, they'll probably be after all to set a fire somewhere. Yeah, bad idea. Yeah. So yeah, this needs a thorough rewire. That is the understatement of the century. Because even by my sometimes death wish standards, it's a complete death trap. So yeah, just a small thing, But yeah, all fun and games. Something I'm trying to do right now actually. If I swing the camera around. So both ends of a Sprite, you have these little bars. And then you also have, you're supposed to have, these little tables. And the idea of them is, if you see these little clips, they pop on there, and then this leg pulls out like so, and holds itself up, and then that's your table to have your dinner at. Now this one went rogue rather a while ago, as you can see. It certainly hasn't been this since I've had the caravan. So what I've just done is, I've just unscrewed the one this end, because if this is not going to be an area for eating food anyway, I might as well just nick it from this end and screw it on the other end, because that way we have just solved one problem quite easily, because we haven't got to try and source one. All we've got to try and do, or haven't even got to try and make one even, because that would be just as much of a pig I suspect. We've now just got to try and find the clips that hold the table on, which I guarantee will be a hell of a lot easier than trying to make one of them. I almost categorically guarantee you that it will be easier than that. So, hey ho, because you can probably find one quite universally that isn't the same but does the same job. So yeah, there we go. That's probably the easiest job I'm going to do, I think, so far. So yeah, that's a small little insight for you into what I'm going to hopefully do with this, what I believe, I've been told by a few different people, is a 1980 Super Sprite Marauder. It will certainly not be original per se, but obviously, as with cars, there's only so much originality you can really keep. Because sometimes, as much as we hate it, life does change and times do move on, and therefore trying to keep things as though it is still the year they were launched and produced just isn't practical. If you want it to be usable in an everyday situation, you've just got to sort of alter things to suit the present day, which is just unfortunate reality really of all these things. So yeah. There's one last thing I would like to mention, which I would quite like to do to this, which is mainly because it's got a flat roof on it. Obviously, if you had a roof where it was pointed up like that, then it wouldn't be flat. But I'm debating whether or not to make it even give this caravan even more usability. And potentially future-proof actually as well, to be honest. So at the moment, obviously you've got the gas, I think it's got the gas fridge, gas hob and the gas light. Obviously present day, most things are LED and most things are all electric, so therefore kind of eliminates the whole thing of gas. Oh, that's not bad actually. So my thought is, where we have is a rather lovely big flat roof. If I can not fall over half the place. So where we have this lovely big flat roof, my debate is, in the long term, is it worth seeing how I get on with it? And so obviously haven't really done proper caravan yet. I've just literally done one weekend away with the car club. That was it. So it's kind of a wonder of, could you maybe fit solar panels to this roof and then fit an inverter and have batteries or something somewhere? Who knows? I mean, best case scenario, what that would do is it would put some nose weight on this caravan, because typically speaking, you would have you have at least a gas canister at the front just to basically make it nose heavy, because if you have too much weight at the back, then it basically forces the van to do that, because you've got all that weight and it almost acts like a because it's at the back, it gives it a lot more, makes it a lot more forceful, so you end up where you can have a snake going on. So but yeah, that is the that's the madness with the caravan so far. I'm going to try and document this as best I can, because I think this is quite a big step in my my personal engineering journey, where I'm going from restoring cars, trying a bit of bodywork, being a bit of a welder, doing some auto electrics, being a qualified mechanic. I think this caravan is going to be a very good step in my engineering journey of learning how to be a jack of all trades. I mean, let's face it, I pretty much am. I think mostly what I won't touch is upholstery, because I've not done that before. But hey, that could be something for the future. So, but yeah, hopefully it's going to be a good chapter and teach me a few things. So yeah, thanks for watching, and look forward to showing you some updates as I get on with things. First thing I'm going to do today is start going through everything, putting all the rubbish out, and get it all thrown in the bin, because it just means that you're not having to try and work around rubbish. Thanks a lot.